Today on Rocket Family Farms, we will be installing two shower valves, one European and one US. I ordered this shower valve on Amazon and it came in yesterday. So this shower valve I got on Amazon because it's a shower valve that is pressure regulated. So I could set the temperature, and if by code it has to be pressure regulated. And it allows me to control 3 separate devices off of one valve. So unfortunately it's a European, so I have to get adapters and things like that. This is the cover plate. And so you can see the temperature gauge. 38 degrees, which is Celsius, but you set it to whatever temperature you want and it stays there. And then these 3 holes are for the different things. So this is going to be a shower head, this is going to be a wand, and this is going to be a traditional shower head. This is a rain shower head from the top. Wand, traditional shower head. Or maybe, I don't know which is which yet. I haven't decided. So that's the cover plate. Very shiny because we have to do polished chrome in this bathroom, I guess. Here is the valve. Oh, it's heavy. This shower valve did not come with instructions. The way this came packaged is the handles were already attached. There's this little cap here that comes off. Oh. Ooh, thank God it didn't go down the drain. So this little cap opens up a hole, and inside there's an Allen wrench that holds onto this, and the whole thing just lifts right off. So really easy to take on and off. And then this part screws on. Now this plastic piece is a spacer. How this is really going to end up working is this spacer is going to have to be sized so that the plastic goes right up to the finished wall. Then the plate goes on top of it, and then this screws on top of it. And this is where the rubber gasket is to keep it watertight. So that rubber gasket goes up against the plate cover and keeps it watertight. Now this one is a little bit different though. This one has a ring that screws right into here. It doesn't have a plastic piece. It has a chrome ring. And I tested it. It slides into the plate like this. You could see the thread there and it screws on. The plate is what has the rubber gasket on this one. So I have literally this much leeway as far as where the finished wall ends. So it does give me a little bit of room of play. See, that just screws right on there. Now this right here, see, that's where the rubber gasket is. So that's how it keeps water tight. I glue this to the wall, and it's these holes that keep it watertight. And the issue is I have to take all this stuff off, and then I have to figure out on the wall how far to install it. Because I'm going to have to, in this wall, I'm going to have to install it up against a board that goes to the back. Because if I go all the way to the back, it's too short by a little bit. Which is good, because I wanted a little space there. My concern is cold in the winter and freezing. I've decided to make up that inch. I'm going to use this foam. This was actually the packing foam that the valve came with. So I'm going to use this foam between the wall and a board. And then I'm going to use this board to attach the valve to. So now this board is a little thicker than I like. It's 3/4 inch. But this is little bit less than ½ inch. So it all equates to about 1 inch. So that lands at about 1 1/8 inches. Almost exactly 1 1/8 inches. Which 1 1/8 inches is good because that leaves room for things like mortar and the epoxy thickness and stuff like that. So that should be good. I just have to put it together to get it on the wall. These boards here are cut at 14½ inches, which is the width between the studs. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to measure how wide this is so that I can measure on each individual board exactly where it lines up in the center. That way when I put these boards in the wall, the studs themselves that are already there will keep this aligned and we should have a level valve. I got my lines marked. I have my lines marked rather. And you can see that there. So the next step, I'm going to be using these little holes right there. And then over here, I'm going to be using those little holes to attach bolts going from underneath. How I'm going to do this is I'm going to drill holes using this bit to go through the wood and then use these machine screws to attach the valve through these little holes right here to the wood. I'm using these washers. This is a little lock washer and then a nut. And then I'm using these to attach the boards to the studs. So these little screws will go to the boards and then I have bigger ones going into the studs. Got the bolts in, got these angles in. So everything is tied tight. See the bolts there. So I'm going to put the foam on the back. I have 2 of these. They don't cover the whole thing. They don't go the full 14½ inches, but it's pretty close. I'm just going to put them right in the middle here. And I'm going to kind of temporarily glue them. They don't need to hold up any weight or anything. So I'm just going to put this silicone sealant that I have for windows and stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to put that on just to hold it in place. That's it. It's ready for the wall. So this will be on the bottom, this will be the top. And just want to show you my installation job here. Gorilla tape, I just happen to have it. Gorilla tape in the middle, duct tape would do the same. Heck, packing tape might do the same. And then this foam, which is going to act as insulation. And that's going right up against the exterior vapor barrier. And then these are going to slide in the studs and screw on in on the sides. So 6 screws, that should hold it up nicely. And 6 bolts holding it into the wood nicely. Alright, time to hang it. Before I screw this in, I want to make sure it's level. So I want to be on all 3 of these spokes at the same spot. And let's see. Ow. Ooh, I just stepped on some screws. That is not perfect, but it's good enough for me. That's pretty darn level, actually. I didn't level it at all. I'm just testing it for the first time now. So, next step is screw these in and then start hooking up these pipes. So this cold and hot goes into here, cold and hot. All right, let me get the plate so you can see what it'll look like. It's kind of hard to see because of the glare, but that is what it looks like on the wall. So, the way this thing works is temperature's right there, on off, on off, on off. So I have to connect those down to there, and then these 3 go to shower heads. So it's nice and shiny, you can see right through it. I'm a little concerned, I may have to make this wall a little bit thicker because this is about, to my calculations, to really hard to tell. I think it's about 1.5 inches. See, it's about 1.5 inches, which is not really that big of a deal because with 1.5 inches wall thickness, 1/2 inch of it's drywall, and then I could do an extra thick something or other for the epoxy, because that's what our plan is, an epoxy wall. I could do 1-inch insulation for epoxy wall if need be. I'll test it after I get the drywall in, honestly. Once the drywall is in, I'll put this plate back on and figure it out from there. But yeah, that's where it's gonna be, in the bathroom. Ooh, backing up. So that's inside our shower. Gonna walk in, step over the curb. This place is disgusting right now. Set the temperature because I like it cold. Wife likes it hot. And this is going to be a rain shower. This is going to be a regular shower. And this is going to be a wand. So it'll just top, middle, bottom. And then turn it on. Shower will be right there. Walk in, take my shower. So I can set the temperature before I even start the shower. I'm excited about that. So this is Teflon tape. It's white and kind of thin. You can see this light shining right through it. And it's kind of, I don't know what it is really. It's easy to break apart. It kind of clumps up. But what you do is you wrap it around the threads. And you do it so that when you screw it in, it's not going to unwind. So it screws in like this, clockwise. So I'm putting on the tape as if I'm screwing it in clockwise. Now you have to kind of hold it with your finger. I don't know if you can see this, but... Alright, there we go. So I don't know if you can see it, but that's the first layer. Now the second layer is going to hold it in place. You just wind it over. And I only do it 2 or 3 times around. So it's 2, 3. Okay. And then you just pull it off and close it up. So now this has Teflon tape. If I were putting this into an exposed pipe, like in a pipe that isn't going to be inside a wall that I can get to later, this is all I'll do. I'll just put the Teflon tape on, screw it on, and if it starts leaking, I will take it apart and fix it later. But because this isn't a wall and I really don't want it to leak, I'm going to use something else as well. There's other brands of thread sealant out there. I found this at Home Depot. I'm just using it because it was there. It's a pipe thread sealer. It's a premium grade because I'm overly paranoid. It doesn't ever fully dry. What it does is, this is gooey stuff, it creates a gasket that water can't penetrate. And the goal here is to make it so that water never penetrates because you don't want water in your walls. So it's this gooey stuff. And so you take the gasket, you take the pipe thing, and you're always working on the male side. You don't want to work in the female side because when you screw this in, the stuff gets pushed out. You want it pushed out, not pushed into the pipe itself because it could gunk up other things inside your system. So I am just putting this stuff on. Doesn't have to be super pretty. Just make sure you have it all the way around and that it's actually there, because it will spread on its own a little bit. Alright, so that's good. That's good. Now you're thinking, how on earth is he going to screw that stuff in? It works. It goes in. So here's the shower gasket I'm installing this one to. This is going into the master shower. Not the master shower, the main house shower. Oh gosh, it's heavy. So See how this is clean? There's nothing in there. I put everything on the male side. So you just kind of start screwing it in. And let's see if you can see it. Some of the stuff is just going in, but some of it's pushing out. You can kind of see it moving around in there. Not twisting as fast as the rest. So I hand tighten it. Then I use a wrench and tighten it more. But not too much. Because if you tighten it too much, you're just going to mess up the brass fittings, because brass is a soft metal. That's good enough. So, I don't know if you can see it, but you have a gasket there. That is not going to leak. I did it on all of these others. All of this is going into the shower like that. And all of them sealed completely. Now, I already did this once with the other bathroom. The bathroom I'm in right now. The one I started with. This one, I had two converters. Because this is a European valve, I had to go from G-type thread to NPT thread to PEX. And I had to order that online because G-thread is not popular in the US. And I did pretty much the same thing. I did Teflon tape, then the goop, and tightened it up on both sides. This goes 3/4 to 1/2 inch, 3/4 to 1/2 inch. That's why this is different than these, because this is 1/2 inch to 1/2 inch. So G type thread to NPT, which NPT is the US based. And this is pressurized. So this is sealed, no leaks whatsoever. When you're working on a house and a bathroom, you want to make sure there aren't any leaks. So you have to pressurize the system. Now in a shower, you can't really put in a shower head. So what you do is you use these. These are just for temporary use. You put it in where the shower goes, and that allows you to pressurize the pipe without it spraying water out. And this stays in all the way up until you're ready, all the way up until all of your coverings are completely done. Because then you just untwist it out and put in your shower heads. So this is the hand shower. That's a regular shower head, and that's a rain shower head. So that's the plan for this bathroom. The regular shower head is just a normal shower. The rain shower comes out from the ceiling because I like that concept. And then this is for my wife because she likes the hand showers. I can't stand them. And I got this valve from Europe because US valves, they all want to do stuff. They all want to just use one handle. I like this concept. I like this concept because this is a pressure balancing valve, meaning it calculates if you lose pressure in the cold, it will drop pressure in the hot so you don't get scalded. This part controls the actual temperature through the pressure valve. And then the water goes up to these. These are on and off valves that are just 1/4 turn. And you just turn it a little bit if you want to reduce the pressure, turn it all the way if you want to increase the pressure. So you can turn all of them on, all of them off, 2 on, 2 off. It doesn't matter because they're all individual valve, turn on valves. It's very simple, very straightforward, and really very easy to install once you have the adapters. It takes up a lot of space. I mean, the thing is massive, but it's good. It's going to be nice. This shower valve I also got on Amazon, and this one is not European. It's US based, so this is just 1/2 inch NPT all the way around. It's a three option valve. So because of this 2x4 being in the center, I couldn't center pretty much anything. So the way I did this is, you see the valve is kind of off to the side towards the rest of the bathroom, kind of on the toilet side. I did that so that it's easy to turn the shower on and off from outside the shower, because I like to turn the shower on before I get in just to make sure the temperature is good. I don't know about everybody else. So the way this works, this is a pressure balancing valve, and you turn it on and set the temperature, and hot, cold going into that. This is going to switch between the bathtub faucet, which the spout just goes into the bathtub, the hand shower, which is right there, or the top shower, which is right there. And it all came as a bundle for like, I don't know, something like $180 with all the components. Maybe it was $200, I don't remember. But it has all the components with it, and it was really quite easy to install. Now this one didn't really have instructions either. However, it has instructions right on it. So this line should coincide with the rough wall. That made installation easy, because all I had to do was make sure that line coincides with the rough wall, and we are good to go. So when I install the drywall, I just put the drywall up to here, put the epoxy panel up to here, and then whatever orange is left, I just cut that off. And it says so too. The external part of this wall could be cut after installation. So this one's easy. You just put it in and call it good. It's all pressurized, it's ready to go. It's actually already been inspected, and all my plumbing is actually fully inspected. Just waiting for other inspections as well before we can start insulating and drywalling.